Hi, I'm Donna Reid, and this is Donna Reid Talks Voice. And in this episode, I am going to work with Michael Pereira and Martin Samuel, and we're going to show the warming up process for male students. So we've already done the breathing thing, and now we're going to get started. Michael, just because you're right in front of me, I'm going to start with you. So with male students and female students, I'll almost always start with an ooh. With the male students, I'm going to start with an ooh falsetto. So I'm simply going to ask Michael to sing those three notes on an ooh, easy peasy, not even worrying about is it falsetto, is it chest voice, is it good, is it bad? Just those three easy oohs. Ooh. Great. Now, does it seem to you to be a little breathy, a little funky?
Not this last one, but the one before was a little breathy.
Was a little breathy, right? Okay, yeah. So then what I would do, this is how I normally warm somebody up, but what I heard that sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. So when I hear that, I said, okay, you know what? That means I'm going to change modes. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with an E vowel. So an E falsetto, and see what that does. And because the E brings the vocal cords closer together, we got rid of the breathiness. Now, this is still on the falsetto side. So
yes,
what we're looking for is a falsetto that's not necessarily breathy. Sometimes a falsetto can be breathy, but I don't want to use that right now for warming up. I want the clear falsetto. So now we got a clear falsetto with the E vowel. We're going to go a little lower with it. And that's still on that upper side. You're not really sensing much of a chest voice, right?
Not much, no.
Now, there's a little bit of chest voice in there because if it were really false, again, it would be breathier, it wouldn't be clear. But let's do the whole octave with the E, and we'll just see, does it go into some kind of a chest voice? Does it not go into a chest voice? See where your voice wants to go with it. And does that seem like it goes into a chest voice to you?
Full chest at the bottom.
Absolutely, and that's what I heard. Yeah. Now, the reason I'm asking, Michael, is because sometimes when I do this exercise with male students, I will hear that it goes into some kind of a chest voice, but they will swear it's staying in the falsetto because the sensation of it to them is not quite the same as what's actually going on or what we're hearing out here. So especially with male students, very specifically, they feel a falsetto a lot of times, especially when it's freer, but it's actually adding chest voice. Thank you, Michael. I'm going to do exactly the same thing with Martin and see what happens if we start with an ooh vowel. Same thing. Where does Martin's voice want to go with it? Ooh. Now, that's interesting because already with Martin's voice, I hear a little bit more chest voice on the bottom one. But how did you experience that, Martin?
The bottom one was a little stiff.
A little stiff. Did you experience it as on the falsetto side or on the chest voice side?
Chest voice side.
Okay. Yeah. So the chest voice added itself to Martin's voice, but it was a chest voice that had a little bit of constriction to it. So I'm going to change modes because I don't like what that did. Now, I know Martin and I know Michael very, very well. They're students of mine. So I know that normally when I play these three notes for Martin, it usually doesn't have that little bit of constriction to it. Today, every day is different. Who knows why? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to change it to an E and just see what the E vowel wants to do for him. Now I'm going to ask, and that was great because it didn't constrict, right? But can you sing it a little bit softer? Yeah, see, I like that one better because we're just getting going. Nothing wrong with the other one, but we're just getting going. We don't need to work so hard. And again, the bottom one is chest voice, or the bottom one's more on the falsetto side?
No, chest.
Chest voice, right. And it's not, obviously we can hear it's not constricted. Now, sometimes I won't be able to hear if it's constricted or not. Usually I do, but I always ask for feedback from my students. And that's exactly what I was talking about before when I was mentioning about self-awareness. So if you sing something and you feel that little bit of a grab, as Martin did when we did the first ooh, you have to be aware of that. You have to say, well, I know I'm supposed to start with the falsetto, but I brought the falsetto down and it went into a chest voice and that had a little grab. So then you have to change modes. You have to say, well, you don't want to sing that one. I changed modes. We got a different kind of a chest voice participation, still on that upper side because it was an E vowel, but that E vowel led us to a definitely not constricted chest voice on the bottom. Now let's do the whole octave with it. Start up there. I'm going to stay with the E and just see where your voice wants to go. Now, you hear a little scratchy thing on the bottom?
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, that tells me that you're pushing too hard.
Yeah.
So remember, we're just getting going.
Yeah.
Really hold back. And that's another thing. I'm going to quote Cornelius again. He said, the most difficult thing in the world to do in singing is to sing loudly correctly. We all want to sing loud. And I know we're doing a recording and here we are and there's, this, that, or the other thing. And it's like, oh, I really want to, whatever, even if that's unconscious, whatever. Really hold back. It's going to go into a chest voice, but let it be an easy chest voice. And I'm sure everybody can hear the difference. But we can't help it. We just love to, I do the same thing. I remember once when I was studying with my late husband, he was sitting here at the piano and I was standing there and I did this arpeggio down and I really barreled into the chest voice. He literally looked at me and went, it's like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, but I'd like to. That brings me to Nellie, right? She loves doing that.
But I like to.
I like it. I like doing that. And we like that. We like that. There's something fun about just saying, oh yeah, I just want to go there. But we want to do it in a way that's one, efficient. And two, we really want to be mindful. We're just talking about warming up, getting the voice going, not really doing an awful lot. I mean, not that Martin's barreling into it, but it's just a good point to make, just to be really mindful and be careful about that. But okay, that's what I would start with two male students. But now, next step. Okay, Michael, what we're going to do is that same falsetto, take that E, because we decided we like that E falsetto, change it to an ah, E-ah, and then bring the ah down. And let's hear what that does. Great, really good. Now you hear that transition, and then it transited very nicely and smoothly into a chest voice on the bottom. Now, just because I want you to show people how it works, do the same thing. Let that transition not be smooth. Let it be and kind of just really let it switch to a chest voice so we can hear what that sounds like. Exactly. Thank you for demonstrating that. Because when you do this at home, Michael knows how to balance these registers and knows how to make the transition because he's been studying with me for so long. But I want to just point out, not everybody can do that all the time. And he showed what normally would happen with a lot of male students. There's that little disruption. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Your voice is just trying to figure out how to go from one place to another. Now, Martin, I'm going to have you do the same thing, but you're going to, we did do the E with you, so I'm going to stick with the E. Do the same E-ah, and then Again, let it be smooth, let it not be smooth. See what happens with the on the way down. And obviously it went to some kind of a chest voice, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you first, and then I'm going to ask Michael. How does your voice feel? Do you kind of feel like it's kind of going, it's kind of warmed up, it kind of feels good, or you feel you need to sing some more?
Mia, I'm actually a little bit for the past 2 days. I have a little something for me. So every time that happens, you're not sure where it's gonna go, but
Yeah.
it feels very good. So
Okay,
I'm just going with what it is at the moment.
Okay, I will test that out in a moment, and then we'll see. Well, are you ready to, are you more or less warmed up or not? But Michael, I'm going to ask you the same question. So, do you feel like you're warmed up? Do you feel you need to do more?
I would probably want to do just a tad more, just
Okay.
a smidge. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I
Great.
haven't spoken really today. It's early here, so I'm a little. It's different.
Okay, all righty. So, I'm just gonna have you sing ah, and we'll test things out. I
Okay.
usually do an ah from the bottom up. I'll never start that way. Rarely start that way. Sometimes I do, but I use that as a test exercise. All right, where is the voice? What does it want to do? Does it want to be free? Does it not want to be free? Does the chest voice go up in a constricted way and not constricted way? We just kind of see where things are at. And just one more. Okay, a little scratchy scratch on the top. So then what I would do is I would have you do do a UH, kind of really round up that top guy.
Okay.
Yeah, because as I said in the beginning of all of this, the broader vowels will give you a little bit more chest voice. That little scratch is the chest voice. So then that tells me, oh, okay, maybe we need a little bit more on that upper side, the falsetto participation head voice side. And then we'll take it from there. But that's great. Now, Martin, I'm going to do the same thing with you. We're just going to see where you're at. Great. Now, despite the fact that you said your voice is feeling a little, that sounded fine. Now, something very interesting that I'm going to point out the difference between Martin and Michael is Martin had a much broader ah vowel, and Michael had a rounder ah vowel. Both are fine. Depends on what you want to sing. If Martin were going to sing something maybe a little bit more soft textured, a little bit more ballady, maybe he'd round it up a little bit. Michael, vice versa. If he was doing something maybe a little beltier, a little more musical theater, whatever, he might broaden it, but both are fine. So I'm not going to complain about either of those. And those are absolutely great. Wonderful. So you see, the most important thing about warm-ups or about singing in general is to be flexible. Different ah vowels, different a vowels, different oo vowels. See what's working at the moment. And you really have to be in the moment and aware of what you're doing. Thanks for watching Donna Reid Talks Voice. If you have any questions for me about this episode, or if you'd like to join me on a future episode, please visit donnareedtv.com and click Contact.